my babies? Hi, and welcome back to another episode of another couch talk. This one is what happens when you don't know you have a damaged inner child. I believe this is episode 4. It's longer than what I wanted it to be. It was a couple of stories that I that I did leave out when we were going through court, and while he still had his job, the roach, which is the one that pulled him off my lap. They were still talking back and forth the whole time. I knew that though. But the roach and her best friend came over. So we were sitting in the house at Mac's house, and they rang the doorbell, which no one usually rings the doorbell. So he looked out the window. He was like, "Who the fuck rang the doorbell?" And he saw I was done. So he just got up and went out. And he ain't say nothing. He was like, "I'll be back." So my intuition was like, "Girl, look out the window." So I look out the window just in time to see him hugging the both of them. I was like, oh, fuck no. So I go to the door. I was like, "Give me a cigarette." He's like, "I'll be in there in a minute." I was like, "Give me a cigarette." I said, "No, give it to me now." I said, "I need to talk to you." He's like, "I'll be in there in a minute." "No, I need to talk to you now." So he come in, and we standing on the steps. And I had on a skirt, and I had on heels that day. And I had my hair done too. I had kinky twists. And I had on a red t-shirt. Well, it wasn't a red t-shirt. It was like a red blouse. And I would wear a lot of red because he was a blood. So it's like I would wear it for my man. Okay. So he had a drink in his hand. Of course. He had a drink. He had a red cup in his hand. He had a drink in his hand. Alcohol. And the way Mac's living room is set up. So the window is here. And then it's a couch in front of the window. And then it's a foyer behind me. And I was standing on the steps facing him. And like I said, I had heels on and stuff, but I was on the steps, but there wasn't no banister on the steps either, right? It was like maybe like 3-4 steps. It wasn't a lot of steps, but still. I was standing on like the second step though. And he was standing like on the last step. And he was like, "Move out my way." I was like, "No, like why do you want to go out there for?" I'm like, "Just tell me the truth. Like why you want to go out there for?" So he had the drink in his hand. We sitting there, we going back and forth. Now mind you, my sister's sitting on the couch behind him. Cause he would do stuff like that to get a reaction out of me. We going back and forth. He took his hand and he shoved me. And when he shoved me, I blacked out. By the time I lifted my head up and my head got up to this part of him, like his collarbone, I had blacked out. My sister had to tell me what happened. It just so happened when I black out later on, I can remember what happened. When that man pushed me, and when I started looking up, by the time I got up to his face, I said, "Pow!" When I say that was the hardest I ever hit somebody in my life, that was the loudest I ever hit somebody in my life. When I say that man went flying, bro, I ain't never hit nobody that hard in my life. But when I say I was so tired of it, cause I'm like, bro, I done lost our baby. I done dealt with this bitch. I done dealt with that bitch. We done got arrested. Like, yo. Like, really though? We supposed to be getting married, my nigga? Like, when I say y'all, I was so over it. The abuse, the getting slung to the ground and being degraded, and you telling people bad stuff about me, but you ain't telling nobody the bad shit that you doing. Like, I was just so fucking over it, bruh. And just all my frustration came out, and that was the first time I had hit that man in months, yo. Cause that was 2008. That was the fall, winter. It was still fall. It was the fall of 2008 when I was putting my hands on him first. And I stopped when he came back. He came back right before Christmas. I stopped when he came back. When all of this is going on is June. Like, as far as when he started putting his hands on me again first, that shit started back in April. So we went 3 months. Okay. I thought we were doing good. We went 3 months without fighting. But I won't put my hands on him first, though. I won't put my... Now, granted, I did throw the damn cigarette at the nigga, but I ain't fucking hit the nigga, though. I ain't put my hands on him, though. But, I know too wrong, so make it right, boo. But, yeah, I hit the nigga. And when I say he went flying, I'm talking about the drink, everything. The TV was wet. He was on the other end of the... When I say it was a big, dumbass screen TV, it was a big, dumbass screen TV. He went flying about a good 4 feet, bro. I'm not fucking bullshitting. No, okay, true motherfucking story. No fairy tale, nigga, like the OGs say. Okay, I ain't fucking bullshitting. I did not know what happened at that point because I was blacked out. When I say this man got up, and y'all remember Rhino from WWF wrestling? Gore, that nigga gored me off the steps, bro. When I said my back was hurting so bad, by the time I came back to, he was choking the shit out of me, and I was choking the shit out of him, and couldn't neither one of us breathe. And Mac had to pull him off me. Now, another story I also forgot was when I was working, I was in college, I was busting my ass. Okay, I was busting my ass. And I came home and Mac was over there, and my ex-fiance was on my laptop. He supposed to be filling out jobs. They're like, yo, we about to go walk to the store right quick. I ain't bet. He just so happened to leave the laptop open. He was still signing to his Facebook. Oh, I seen all type of shit he ain't know I saw. So it's this girl named Shanti that he used to date. And just so happened, we both know her baby daddy. Okay, we both know her baby daddy. Well, they used to fuck around. I don't know what it was. But I knew he was cheating on me with her. And she calling me sis. So I confronted him about it when he came back. I was sitting outside. I was shaking too, bro. And I was sitting down on the ground. He was standing up when him and Matt walked up. And I was smoking a cigarette. And I was like, I need to talk to you. And by the way I said it, Matt was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go in the crib. Okay? He already could tell. Like, my energy was, like, fuming up off me, yo. And he was like, man, what's up? I was like, you cheating on me? He was like, man, you tripping, this, that, and the third, da-da-da-da. So I'm like, I literally ran the messages down to him. You meeting the bitch at McDonald's and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, my nigga, I'm working. I'm in college. We going through court. And I'm trying to get life together so we could get our own crib. Because townhouses, I was looking for them. Townhouses was $550 to $600 back then. And that's what I wanted. I always wanted a townhouse. And it's like it was more than 2 different pages. We weren't even in the same library. Okay, we weren't even in the same library, bro. Cause all you had to say was, this shit ain't working. Alright, go find somewhere else to stay then, my nigga. Go stay with one of them bitches. Oh, you couldn't. You couldn't. Okay, you couldn't. That's the problem. Okay, you didn't want to go deal with your mama and all her toxicness. So you want to come bring your toxicness over there to me where I'm trying to be, never mind, bro. I'm trying to be productive, bro. So he kept lying. I got tired of it, and I took the cigarette and I threw it at his face, but it did not hit his face. And when I tried to get up, he put me in a headlock, and he just started slinging me around, and then he slung me to the ground. And when he slung me to the ground, I was trying to get up, and he held me down, and he punched me in my face twice. And I was like, stop punching me. He punched me in my face twice. And Mac, just so happened, Max said something in his intuition told him to go downstairs, and I'm glad he did, because that man probably still would have me on the ground still punching me. Okay, he was not going to stop. And Matt pulled him off of me and told him stop. And I got up and I tried to fight him, but because I was just so enraged, I could not get to him. We tried to break up then again too. He tried to leave. We ended up having a conversation. He ended up staying, and then that's when he got arrested for the trespassing and stuff. He couldn't come over there because of the trespassing and stuff. I would go see him, so I would go, because his mom stayed in a hotel with her boyfriend at the point in time. And I would go see him and stuff and go over there to the hotel. His mom would be over there sometimes. She would cook, but then it got to the point where she didn't even want to be there. She was over there at her other boyfriend's house, okay? She was over there at her other boyfriend's house. So I remember one time he got upset because he found a pipe. And his mom is a recovering addict and also ex-prostitute, so he had a lot of damage in the child, y'all. And that's why it's like, as I'm doing this, it's like I'm having grace for the man, because I understand he went through not normal circumstances, y'all. Like, neither one of his parents there, and his grandparents had to raise him. Then both of them died back to back. And then it's like, I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but it's like, I understand. Even though I don't love him no more, I don't want him no more, it's like I still understand, and I'm still grateful for the lesson. Because we was young as fuck, man. We was 18, 19. When we met, we was 17, 18. And at this point in time, we 18, 19. Like, we was young as fuck, yo. But, speaking of young as fuck, I did something I shouldn't have did. And that's probably another reason why I'm so helpful towards homeless people. we needed some money because neither we couldn't go back to my mama crib, and he didn't want to go back to the hotel, and I wasn't allowed back there. Like, I couldn't spend the night or anything anymore because the boyfriend got mad because I was spending the night over there and his mama wasn't there. You understand? He would get mad. So he came up with this great idea, and he was like, walk up to people and act like you homeless and ask for, $1 or something like that so we go get something to eat. And I did it. And I asked a whole bunch of people. I didn't feel right doing it, yo. But I did it, though. So I own it. And we got enough money where we could eat some McDonald's, where we was able to get, some sandwiches, some fries that we could share, and a drink. And I remember the man that gave me the most amount of money, he was the last person. And I knew that was enough for us to get what we needed to eat. And I told him I was homeless, but I was by myself. And he kept trying to, he was like, you want me to get you a hotel room with this and that? I was like, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. He walked right in McDonald's and looked right at me and my ex-fiance sitting there eating. I felt so bad and so guilty. I told myself, I'm not doing that no more. I said, I'm not doing that no more. Because somebody out there that really could use the fucking money. And we just using the money because we fucking hungry for McDonald's. Like, stupid shit, bro. Stupid shit, bro. Like I said, I did help him get into college. I paid for his tests or whatever so he could get into college and stuff. I was trying to push him to be better because he is intelligent, man. And he ended up signing up at the Pistol City campus, and I had to go to the Norfolk campus because that was the one that had the culinary arts program, but a hospitality management program. So we ended up taking a class together, and I'm excited. I'm like, I got a class with my boo and stuff, and I'm all excited. And it did not go any way I thought it was gonna go. Cause everybody knew we was together, and it got to the point where he stopped coming to class. He stopped doing the assignments, and he ended up dropping out altogether. We ended up breaking up while we was in the class, and he just stopped coming altogether. But then it's like we ended up having a conversation, and we would just meet up. I'm just being all the way 100 with y'all, cause I done built this whole channel on transparency, bro. Okay? I built this whole channel on transparency. I'm just being all the way 100 with y'all. I was young, I was dumb, and I was in love because I did not love myself, and I was not loved properly growing up. And we would just meet up, and we young, we horny, and I don't want my body count to go up, so we would have sex up under the steps because we couldn't go nowhere else. We didn't get caught, though. Shit, I'm just being 100, y'all. It's just certain things I was learning, like, now that I know better, it's like, damn, I can't believe you did that. Or damn, I can't believe you put up with that. Or damn, I can't believe you did that toxic shit, So, y'all, this part of the healing, you gotta be honest with yourself, okay? In order to heal, you really gotta be honest with yourself, because at the end of the day, can't nobody clean that mirror off but you. You gotta be honest with yourself. So, that happened. Then we end up breaking up. And when we broke up, I gave him back the engagement ring. But my dumb ass also gave him my auntie's ring too, because I said they go together. And cause I knew I was going to get the engagement ring back. I knew I was. But we stayed broke up for a little minute. I was like, okay, we might not be getting back together, y'all. So, we still was doing what we did. Because, I won't go have sex with nobody else. I loved him. That's all I cared about was him. Like a dum-dum. Okay, like a dum-dum. Mm-hmm. So, I did end up falling into a depression when we broke up. I started fucking up in my classes, and I had to pay the money back. Yeah. Baby, let me tell you, okay? But when we did finally end up getting back together, he told me the reason why he was prolonging us getting back together is because he lost not only the engagement ring, but my auntie's ring as well. And I have not seen it since. And that is my own damn fault. Yep. Don't ever give up anything valuable, let me tell you. We did get back together. My cousin was graduating from college in North Carolina. So he rode down there with us. We went on a trip because he was rocking with my family and stuff. And, everybody, for the most part, liked him, was cool with him. And so we went down to North Carolina and took pictures, this, that, and the third. And we come back, and that's when he decided he was going to move to Richmond with his mama. Because his mama had moved to Richmond. She finally got a crib. And that's when he decided he was going to move to Richmond with his mama. So we tried to do the long distance thing. And it didn't work. I tried to go to the bus station to say goodbye to him. And I was like, Because his aunt didn't like me. I was like, babe, you want me to come to the bus station with you to say bye? He was like, nah, you ain't got to come. Because, you know, she be tripping and this, that, and the third. And so he came to the crib and I said bye to him. And oh, gracious. When I said, I broke down and cried, yo. And then come to find out, him and his aunt was talking about me later. Because she was like, why she didn't come this, that, and the third? And he made it seem like I didn't want to come. And I did. But I'm like, your aunt don't like me. Do you want me to come? It's like, it was always like that, bro. And I'm like, why would you tell me the opposite of what you really want? Like, the fuck, bruh. The fuck. Like, I'm trying to be supportive and you trying to make it seem like I'm not. Like, the fuck, bro. This is why I stay to myself, because I feel like I love too hard. But like I tell y'all, ain't nothing wrong with the way that you love. Just set better boundaries. And this is why I tell y'all that shit. Been there, done that, lived through it. Straight up. At first, we were doing good. And then he sent the guy again, Pooh, that I cheated on him with. And he tested me again to see if I was going to tell him that he hit me up. And I didn't, because I didn't want an argument. I didn't tell him at first, but then I ended up telling him like a week later. He was like, you took too long to tell me. I knew that he hit you up this and that. I'm like, you set me up again. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why do you keep doing that? So the reason why he was doing that is because he was already cheating. He was already cheating. So he was giving me excuses like, oh, I can't call you because my charger broke and my phone be dying and stuff and this and that. I already knew what the fuck was going on. So me and his mama ended up having a conversation and she was like, I don't think it's a good idea for you to come up here. And I was like, why? She said, well, y'all not married. And I was like, well, we gonna get married when I come up there. Cause I had just started my first business. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be getting paid for. Me and my man gonna be straight. I'm gonna stack up this money, get this U-Haul, and I'm out. I'm going to Richmond. I had signed up for a community college up there. And they had a better culinary program than the one I had. Cause they actually taught you how to cut meats and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, this shit lit. And I got accepted into the college. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, things is flowing. I'm just trying to get my paper up so I can move. And I was waiting on that college check. And I took that college check and I invested some of it into my business. And he got mad that I did that. He got mad that I started a business. He said, you were supposed to come up here and see me. And you ain't come to see me. And I came down there and saw you. Well, when you came down there and saw me, it was your birthday weekend. Okay? You got to ride down there and got to ride back up. You got to ride down here and got to ride back up there. I paid for the hotel. I paid for the cigarettes. I paid for the weed. I paid for the alcohol. My nigga, I paid for everything that weekend. My nigga, I paid for everything that weekend. We went and kicked it with your peoples. Like, I paid for everything that weekend. The fuck? Okay? The fuck? Yeah, this is why it is hard to get Nina in a relationship, bro. Because this is how Nina love. I love to spoil my man. I love to do things to surprise my man. It's been a couple times, well, a few times, that man done came home and I had on a sexy two-piece, or I had on this little pink little lingerie little skirt thing that I had. Or he done came home and it was a ghetto meal, but I was being thoughtful. I had a candle lit. And we both love peanut M&Ms. So I had peanut M&Ms. And then we had the French bread pizza. Because, that's all I could afford. But I got stuff that I knew that he loved. And then he loved the Arizona. I want to say it's the strawberry Arizona that he loved. And I would have a strawberry Arizona for him. He would come home, he'd be surprised. And we sit there and we would eat. And he'd be like, oh, baby, I love this, that, and the third. And we would chop it up. And then we would make love and go to sleep. Like, we did have good times. I did thoughtful shit for him. It's just he stopped doing thoughtful shit for me. I would cook his favorite meals and, give him massages and shit. But that nigga, he stopped doing all that shit for me. Yeah. So it was 3 days before my birthday. And he was acting funny. We ended up getting in an argument. And it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And he broke up with me. And that's the last time we had ever been together as far as in a relationship. Because, of course, I was still emotionally attached to him. He was the first person I had ever been with, okay? Because I do remember the night that, because we got in an argument about that shit too, bruh. The night I gave him my virginity, he was like, you didn't bleed. Yes, I did, my nigga. When I went to the bathroom to go pee, I was spotting. The fuck? It's like, I always had to fuck, and that's probably why I do that shit. I ain't realize it. Like, I always gotta make sure I prove my point to a person to make sure they know I'm not lying. And when I say I'm so fucking tired of doing that shit, I don't give a fuck if people believe me or not no more. Nina ain't got no reason to lie. Unless your name is Your Honor, Officer, and sometimes Supervisor. What the fuck I'm lying to you for? Okay? Shit, and you know what? And that's why I like doing these couch talks and Sunday mimosas, because they help me with my healing when I do them. I didn't even realize that. That's probably why I always feel like I gotta prove a point, like, so the person knows I'm not lying, because I had to constantly do that in the relationship. Constantly. So, I mean, he ended up breaking up with me, and of course I was heartbroken. I asked him why, and he couldn't give me a good enough reason. He couldn't give me a good enough reason. Ironically enough, we had a conversation some years after that. And when I say this man confessed everything, he confessed everything. It was mind blowing, and he'll never confess it again. He was like, I was being greedy, and I didn't deserve to be cheated on. And he was like, you was everything that I wanted, but I was just being greedy because people, like females, was throwing it at me, and I just was taking it because they was throwing it at me. And this, that, and the third. And I'm like, this is too much. Because them bitches won't throwing it at you until they saw that you was wiped up and you put a ring on my damn hand. Like, they won't throwing it at you then until they saw that. Like, it's just ridiculous. But he was like, you didn't deserve that. And the man actually said out his mouth, I pushed you into cheating. And I know he will not ever admit that shit again. I said, what? He was like, I did push you into cheating. Because he realized he was neglecting me. He didn't say he was being abusive, but it was like he was trying to clean his heart or something that night. I don't know. But it was like, I thought me and him was in a space of healing after we had that conversation, you know? He broke up with me, but he ended up coming to see me the day after my birthday, and we ended up having sex outside because he couldn't come around the front to come in the crib, and that's the only place we could have sex. So shorty went with it, and I shouldn't have. So he would come down like probably once, twice a month, and he would come and see me, and we would kick it, and we would have sex. That's what we would do. And so one night that shit went too far, and I had to cut that shit out, because when I say this was probably the most degrading thing I ever let a man do to me, bro. He was drunk, didn't know he was drunk. His people was on the other side of the fence waiting for us. He told me if I love him, I would have sex with him right there. And I had sex with him right there. Now, at the point in time, I'm thinking nobody could see us. But apparently everybody could see us, and I didn't know that shit. And somebody actually came and walked up on us, and they actually saw us. And he told him, no, bro, you need to walk around. And that's when I pulled my pants up, and that's when I realized, Nina, you done lost your damn mind. And if my daughter ever did some shit like that, when I say, I would probably wring her damn neck. And that's when I realized, you don't really love me. You just want to possess me. And that's when I started falling back for him. I realized I didn't want to deal with that. Yeah, that's what I said, though. That's what I said. That's what I said. It was some time spread out since we had spoken and stuff. And he ended up coming down. And I don't know what happened. We ended up kicking it and getting a hotel room. And, of course, we had sex. Now, he was supposed to get me a ride home. We ended up getting a ride to Mac's crib. And he left me there. Because he had to go back to Richmond, and he left me there. But he was still out there, though. But I knew he was coming back. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get a ride home. What I did not know was this nigga had been popping shit, and I didn't know he was dating somebody else, and this and the third. I'm like, that's all you had to tell me, my nigga. Okay, the fuck? So the guy that was supposed to give me a ride home, he was mad because he was still dealing with me, and so I didn't get a ride home. So I had to call his little cousin to come get me, and she chewing me out. And I used to ride around, never mind. It's like, bitch, I done did favors for you. You can't do one favor for me. But she did help me get that flea market job, so I got to give her that, okay? I got to give her that because I was having such a hard time trying to find a job with the charges that I had. And me graduating from college, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to find me a job. I'm going to be straight. They ain't going to care about them charges. Wrong. Okay, still to this day, bro. I applied for Dollar General in 2023, and I made it through the interview and everything, bro. And it was like, background check, we can't hire you. I'm like, come on, bro. It's 13 years later. You still can't hire the kid, bro. I'm like, damn, man. If I would have known, bro, I probably would have just became a nun, okay? And I wouldn't have gave my heart to no fucking body. But that's not living life. You gotta live, you gotta learn, you gotta fall down. But you also gotta get back up too, boo, okay? So, I think it was the end of maybe 2012 at that point. I think it will. Y'all, I want to make sure I'm getting my dates right. Okay, I want to make sure I'm getting my dates and shit right. But I do remember he got arrested. And I know for a fact he got arrested on his daughter's birthday. Because he told me he was going to come down here. And so I was excited. I'm like, oh, we going to kick it. This and the third might get something, you know? Might do, might don't, depending on how I feel. Right? So, at that point in time, he was the only person I was still having sex with. I did not need my body count going up, okay? I was so serious about that. So, he supposed to come down. I'm waiting for him to call. I'm waiting for him to call. I'm like, well, maybe he's spending time, you know, with his daughter, and he'll holler at me, you know, tomorrow, this and the third. Oh, no. Instead, I end up getting a phone call from his mama. And she is so distraught and crying and stressed out. And mind you, his mama has medical conditions and stuff, and she don't need stress, because that makes her medical conditions worse. The medical condition that she has. So, she's crying and stuff. This man then got arrested in Richmond. Never made it to the bus. Okay, never made it to the bus to catch it down here. He done got arrested in Richmond for smoking weed in public. Weed was not legal then. And he also had his mama's gun on him. Okay, and he did not have a concealed license for it, and it was concealed. Right, locked up. She's crying, this, that, and the third. Boo hoo 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 hoo. I feel bad. I convinced my mama on her day off, because my mama was off the next day, just so happened, to go up there. And she was like, Nina, I ain't got no money. I was like, well, I got money on my credit card. And I was like, how much is this bail? And just so happened, I had just enough money on my credit card to bail him out and to fill my mama gas tank up. So we go up there, we spend the night. I'm trying to console her, trying to get her calm down. Me and her stay up most of the night. My mama, she went to sleep. She was tired. So we come up with a game plan of how to get him out the next day. We wake up early. When I say we driving around the city all fucking day, bro. All fucking day. We're waiting to hear back from this person. Waiting to hear back from that person. How can we get him out, this, that, and the third. We finally able to get down to the jail. I don't even remember, because like I think we're trying to figure out what jail he was at or something like that. Like when I said that shit took all fucking day. Like, bro, we left the house at 10 a.m. I don't think this man got, like, we didn't get to him and get him bailed out to 8 p.m., bro. All fucking day, bro. Okay? All fucking day, bro. So, we finally get him bailed out, and he did not know who bailed him out. He just know that his mama got somebody to bail him out. So, as he's walking out, he looks, he turns, and he sees me, and he was like, oh. And he started smiling from ear to ear, and I'm like, yeah, my nigga, I still got your back. The fuck, I still got your back, my nigga. I ain't going nowhere. I still got your back. Even though we've been through what we've been through, I still got your back. So we go back to his crib, and it's like this little shed in the back, and his homeboy came over. Well, where the fuck was you when he was in jail, my nigga? And we all smoking and stuff. His homeboy leaves. Me and him end up chopping it up and stuff, and he's thanking me for, you know, coming to get him. And we have sex. I got some thank you dick, basically. Now, we go in the house. And I brought my sage with me, because by then I was all the way into my spirituality. Because when I was 19 and we was going through court, that's when I started, when I got into school. Because I could also use the financial aid for Barnes & Noble. So I was in there buying books. And I bought a chakra book that he stole. Okay, because he also gave me this blank poetry book. And I wrote like 6 poems in it. That nigga stole that shit too. Like, this is what I mean. Possessive. Like, just... Bruh, like, just for no reason, though. For no reason. But I bought this chakra book, and I started studying my chakras, and I was doing my exercises and stuff, and I could feel them. And that's also when I started watching Left Eye's documentary. And I started learning about numerology. I'm like, bro, Left Eye and Aaliyah been around me heavy. They've been around me so heavy. And I'm trying to figure out why they've been around me heavy. Because they were trying to tell me, sis, tell your story. If you know anything about what they've been through, it was telling me, sis, tell your story. So, I get my sage out and I start smudging the house. And like I tell y'all, the only people I know that do not like sage are people that have demons on them. Tell me why his mama told me so she got a headache and she get the coughing and stuff. And me and him both, I had just told him that. I said, yeah, the only people that don't like, you know, and I just told him that. And she was like, oh, this giving me a headache. And we both looked at each other like, oh, shit. But as I'm smudging and stuff, he was like, Bean, I'm so proud of you. You stepping into your purpose. I'm like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that, you know? And I'm really thinking he's supporting me and stuff, but I don't know, man. It turned out not to be that way. It turned out not to be that way. So the agreement was with him and his mama, he was to pay me back the money for me bailing him out and also for the gas money. Now, when I was working at the flea market, he had sent down $300. Because he had, oh wait, I skipped a part. So he got in a car accident, right? And this was after I started working at the flea market. So he almost lost his life again. He was on his way down here with his cousin. They was drinking. They made it all the way from Richmond, get to the 757, which is 2 hours away. And they coming down the ramp, and he was already passed out drunk, and his cousin ended up passing out drunk, speeding down the ramp. They said the car flipped. They ended up in the ditch. It's a blessing. This is how I know God is real. It's a blessing that man is still here. I think he fractured his collarbone and stuff. I stayed the night with him in the hospital. My phone wasn't working. I did not care. I left my phone at home. I said, listen, the phone ain't working anyway, because it had, to the Android users, the little Android came out and his eyes turned to X's and then he laid out flat with his tongue out. They call it like the something of death. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So unless my phone was plugged up to my computer, I could not use my phone. And that's what happened. I had woke up and my phone was up front on the computer charging. And I had all these missed calls, and his family was calling me. They're like, yo, he got in a car accident. His brother in North Carolina, his mama in Richmond. So they're like, basically, can you go see him? So they told me where he was and stuff. And I walked in the hospital room. He was like, and he was asleep too. And then he woke up and he saw me sitting there. He was like, oh, yeah, my nigga, I got your back still. Okay, I got your back still. Because we had a friendship as well. At least I thought we did, y'all. At least I thought we did. So he was shocked. He was in awe. I was happy that he was still alive. It scared the fuck out of me. And that's when I realized I still love you. Because I didn't think I loved him still. And that's when I realized I still love you. So I gave him a hospital favor, if you know what I mean, okay? And I turn around, he doing all of this. I'm like, are you okay? He was like, yeah, I'm good, just keep going. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you doing all of this? Like, and I'm like, nigga, you over there playing the pianos or something. So I spent the night. The nurses was nice enough to give me a cot, and his cousin, who we did not get along because one of his ex-girlfriends got in her ear about me, we ended up having a great conversation. We had fun. We was laughing and joking. She said, you know what? You actually is cool. I was like, oh, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. I'm like, this ain't the time to be having attitudes and this, that, and the third. Like, it was about his health and stuff at that point in time. So he ends up, you know, going with his family. They were nice enough to drop me off and stuff. He sent me down $300 when I was working at the flea market, though. He wanted me to rent a car out here, and he wanted me to drive up to Richmond 2 hours away to come get him, and then drive all the way down to Fayetteville, which is I don't know how many fucking hours, but I know it's way too many for me to be driving, but I was going to do it, and I couldn't get a rental car. So I said, you want me to send you the money back? He told me no. He said, you keep it. So what I did was I gave $100 to my mama, I spent $100, and I saved $100. And when it came time for that man to pay me back that bail money, he said, well, I don't feel like I need to pay you back the bail money because I sent you $300, you know, a year or two prior. What? I said, what the fuck? I said, you know what? I don't even feel like arguing about it. Okay, bro? I don't even feel like arguing about it. But yeah, that's when I maxed out my credit card, though, when I went to go bail him out. And I've been trying to get the credit right ever since. It's like every time I get there, something else happens. Something else. Cause up to that point, like, I had 698 credit score, bro. Well, I mean, that's where I started it. Because my mama got a credit card in my name when I was 17, and I didn't find out until 2021. That's why, okay? That's why, honey. That's why. So, y'all, okay, see what I mean? This is the end of episode 4, I believe. I will see y'all in hopefully the last and final segment of what happens when you do not know you have a damage in a child. Love you, baby.